Are your work days just kind of happening to you? Like you get up in the morning, grab a cup of coffee, you get into the office, and then before you know it, it's 5 p.m. and you never fully got into work, and yet you still feel like you can't actually get out of work. Today's video is for you. If that's you, I get it. So often us entrepreneurs, we work from the coffee table, the kitchen table, the couch, our bed, and the lines between work and life have never been blurrier. Our brains love running on autopilot. They want to conserve mental energy or calories and not have to burn them with all the little decisions, because decision fatigue is real. It's something that we face every day, and it can burn entrepreneurs out faster than they ever see it coming. This is why we want to put our brain into autopilot as frequently as possible, so that we are saving that mental energy to make decisions that matter most, and not the daily ones of like, how do I get into the office and what should I do today? I'm not asking you to be the person that wakes up at 4 a.m. every day, and then at 4:02 you're doing one thing, and at 4:07 you're doing the next. That's not what I'm talking about. Today, I want to help you build rhythms that are going to be anchors throughout the day, that are going to help you be present when you're at work and then present when you're with your family. We're talking about a startup routine, which tells your brain, boo, it's time to work, and a shutdown routine that gives you the freedom to walk away and mentally leave work at work and be present wherever you're going next. One of the things that I'm finding is that when we're unable to fully detach from work, it leads to burnout because we are never truly off the clock. Even for those of us who love working, we love our businesses, we need to be able to step away so that we can come back fresh with fresh creativity. This is why it is important to have a startup and a shutdown routine. Now, there are people who are much more brilliant than I who came up with the original idea of a startup and a shutdown routine. The way that I first learned about it is in Cal Newport's book, Deep Work. It was a game changer, and I would encourage everybody who's watching this video to read it. But today I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my startup and shutdown routine and why I'm doing the things that I'm doing it, with hopes that it's going to encourage you to create your own. When you're first creating your startup routine and shutdown routine, they should be wildly simple. I want you to start with the basics. You can get fancy later on and add on as many things as you want, but when you're first starting out, I want you to keep it to the bare bone basics. My startup routine has 5 parts. Number 1, I pour a cup of tea. I love to have it in a beautiful mug that brings me joy. It tastes lovely, a little caffeine boost, exactly what I need to get into the office. Next up, I light a candle. I love the flickering of the light. I love the way it makes the room smell. I have specific scents that I love to use in the office specifically and not around my home. Again, triggering my brain. It's time to get to work. As a follower of Jesus, I desire to start with prayer. And so I take a moment and I pray over the day, I pray over my business, and I pray over every single one of my clients. Then I love to go ahead and check in on my big 3. If I haven't set them, then I go ahead and update them. You can learn more about updating your big 3 in the video linked here. And that gives me a clear understanding of what I need to be doing that day. Number 5, for some people this is a little controversial. Some people like to not check their inbox until they've gotten really good deep work done. I tend to take a quick glance because I personally don't have a VA at this time, so I just make sure that there's no fires that need to be put out. Everything else is put into a to respond folder that I'll get to later, and this allows me to make sure everything's running smoothly in the background as I get into the office and begin my work day. As I've gone through these 5 steps, my brain has been primed. This is the time we are stepping in. We've done our warm-up. We've done our stretches as we were a runner or getting ready to exercise. These are those mental exercises that get me in the right headspace in order to do my job well in the office. Now, this isn't something that's magical that you're just going to do it once and everything's going to be perfect. This is a rhythm that I've built into my life that my brain now looks for these triggers to get me into the workday. So as you're creating your startup routine, I want you to give yourself grace. I want to encourage you to try it for 21 days. They say it takes 21 days to make a habit. So try it for those days that you're going to be in the office. Do it every single time. If you're someone that's working in the cracks and margin of life, I want to encourage you, again, keep it simple. My nap time warriors over here. I want it to be something small, just 1 or 2 things that's telling your brain it's time to get to work. Write down the 1 to 5 things max. 5 is a pretty hefty list, but 1 to 5 things max that you're going to do every single time that's going to allow you to get in the right headspace. Again, keep it simple. Nothing fancy, nothing that you're going to have to spend a lot of money to do or take a lot of time to do. My startup routine takes me less than 10 minutes to do. From starting the pot on the kettle, my pot is electric. I just click a button. But from clicking the button to start the water to checking my inbox and then finally getting into work, it takes less than 10 minutes. Now for me, getting into work is so much easier than getting out of work. Maybe you're like me in that way as well. This is why a shutdown routine is vital. Now, while my startup routine is 5 steps, my shutdown routine is 6. Now, my shutdown routine, it takes me anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, and that is dependent on the day and how much margin I have. I love to have a little bit of extra time to really shut down well, but I can get it done in a quick 10-minute sprint. The first thing that I do is I check my inbox, make sure that nothing urgent has come that I need to address before stepping away, because I will not be checking my email again until the next morning. Number 2, I live a lot of life in Voxer with the Cortico members, and so I like to make sure that I've gotten back to them before closing out the day and I'm able to answer any of their questions. Number 3, I like to take a moment and engage on social media. I love to support Cortico members, engage with other business friends, and even check in on friends and family. Number 4, I update tomorrow's big 3 for the day. I don't want to have to carry any of that mental clutter around into my evening. I want to be able to write it down, create headspace, heart space, as my friend Rachel Warner always says. And so I take it from my brain and put it onto my Notion board. 5, I do like a tidy workspace. So I love to take a quick moment, clear copious amounts of teacups, trash, papers, anything like that, get that off my desk. So when I get into the office the next morning, I have a clean space to start with, which really helps me be in the right headspace to begin the day. Okay, now this one is gonna seem so silly, okay? But I want you to take a deep breath. Follow me here for just a second. I so deeply desire to be able to leave work at work and to be present with my love or with my friends, with my family. And that is something that can be really challenging for me to do. And so one of the things that I do is I have to verbally say something out loud every single time that I'm clocking out that helps my brain go, this is it. We are closing work for the day and we are going to be present with our people. Okay, so the phrase that I say is catch you on the flip side. It comes from my favorite TV show called Frasier. He says it on one of the episodes when he is signing off his radio show. And so it's something that I adopted, but it's something that I still feel a little silly saying out loud, but it tells my brain it is time to leave work. So I want to encourage you to choose a phrase. It can be something fun, something meaningful. It can be work done. Someone that I greatly admire, my friend Abby Grace, she says mischief managed because she loves Harry Potter. And so whatever it is that you need to say to allow your brain to set these things down and then to go be present, you pick that phrase and then say it every single time you clock out for the next 3 weeks and see how it affects your mental space. Okay, so that's my startup and shutdown routine. Now it's time for you to create your own startup and shutdown routine. Now I want you to start super simple. Keep it under 5 items. And that includes, like I said, for me, pouring a cup of tea. Maybe for you, you're a coffee gal. But I want to encourage you, keep it simple and make it consistent. Commit to doing this over the next 3 weeks. Now, I want you to write down what your startup routine is and what your shutdown routine is. We are 42% more likely to complete something if we write it down. So you're more likely to stick with it if you write it down. Now, that does increase closer to 95% when we get some accountability. So I would love for you to share your startup and shutdown routine with a peer, a spouse, a business partner. If you want to share it in the comments below with me, I would love to celebrate you and cheer you on and help hold you accountable. But get it shared with somebody outside of your own headspace or somewhere on your computer. Now, if you need a little bit of help figuring out exactly what your startup and shutdown routine should be, I have actually created a spicy planning assistant. My friend Edna, she is a ChatGPT bot that I've custom trained to help with quarterly planning, setting your big 3, and creating your startup and shutdown routine. She is amazing and will help you well. So you can click the link below, add her to your toolkit, and in the meantime, I want you to know that I'm cheering for you as you work hard to create rhythms that are gonna allow you to be fully present at work, and then also to be able to shut it down as you go into your day today.